Yes, you read that correctly. You should not call your leads. Now, I know that's the most controversial statement you've heard in real estate because our sole purpose is get leads, call them on the phone, try and get them to meet with you so you can help them with their buying and selling needs. Well, I got bad news for you. You're not talking to most of them anyway. If you get 100 leads, and those things are expensive, if you get 100 leads, maybe you're talking to 10, and out of those 10, 5 or 6 of them are standoffish, don't want to talk to you. We're not in a big hurry. We don't plan to move for 2 years. Get the damn salesperson off the phone. Never call your leads. I'm going to show you a better way. Welcome to today's morning meeting. I'm Greg Luther, the one guy that meets with you every single day to help you in growing your real estate business. And today we're going to talk a little bit about a better approach, because let me finish that statement, the headline you saw on the thumbnail here. Never call your leads. Communicate with them instead. Would you rather call them or communicate with them? No, you're not communicating with them by calling them, because 9 of 10 don't answer the phone in the first place. So what I want you to do is I want you to really start thinking through, how am I going to communicate with my prospects if they're standoffish on the phone? If they know the phone is a telemarketer, you are. A salesperson, you are. Offering something they don't absolutely need today, that's you. Now, that doesn't mean they're not motivated by any means, but it means that mode of communication is the least desirable. You know what they want to do? They want to see the information on their own without the salesperson, much like you're doing right now. If I called you today and I said, hey, it's Greg Luther, I'd like to spend some time to tell you why you shouldn't be calling you. No, thank you. I'm not interested. Sorry, I'm busy right now. Literally at this time, when you have allotted this time, you will still say that because of the damn phone, because salespeople call you on the phone and try and get you to do something you don't want to do. So it's the least effective communication device. That doesn't mean it's not effective. It's the least effective of all communications. But I want you to think about this for a minute. Your goal is to get leads, to call them, to try and set up an appointment so you can meet with them, right? Well, the problem is they don't answer the phone, or they don't handle that phone call the way you want them to, so you don't meet them. Your whole goal is to meet them and give them a presentation. What if you give them a presentation, they then call you and want you to meet them in person? What if we can flip that? What if we can do that in reverse? Well, there's a lot you can do with following up with your leads with a simple video, with a sales presentation that's recorded. You can put on YouTube, you can put on Facebook, you can host it on your own page. Just shoot them a YouTube link. Here's the 5 reasons I want you to utilize me as your agent. Because the problem you've got is, if you're trying to do it on the phone, they're going to have a negative thought process around that. They're going to try to get you off the phone. They don't want to be on there forever. While they're talking, they got their spouse. Who is it? What do they tell them? You don't want, just tell them you what? Why do you? It doesn't matter. Just hang up the phone. That's what's happening right now every single day with thousands of agents trying to make calls. Now, these would be warm calls. These are calls where the buyer or seller, that prospect, wanted information. Imagine how tough it is on cold calling. So there's a lot of people out there, the old school people, the old school agents, team leaders, coaches, whatever, that will tell you, you need to cold call. You got to make your calls. You got to smile and dial. You got to pound the phones. You got bullshit. Total bullshit. They are not making the millions of dollars that need to be earned from a more effective approach. Now, they can have a whole staff of a whole bunch of people and they're divvying up all the money and everybody gets $700, right? They can do it that way because they're just trying to do it in volume, and they're, everybody's making a little bit of money from a whole bunch of properties. That doesn't make sense to have a bullpen of people making phone calls. You know what my bullpen looks like? 0 outbound calls per day. 0. You know what our top producers look like? Very close to 0. Now, when I say never call your leads, let me clarify that a little bit so that everybody knows, particularly our coaching members with Inner Circle Coaching. It's part of a well-rounded diet. Yes, you should call them a couple times. Yes, you should text them a couple times. Yes, you should email them a couple times. Yes, you should send some videos a couple times. Yes, you should retarget them on Facebook. Yes, you should be sending a postcard campaign. Yes, there should be a sales letter from direct mail. that you send out to them. That is all part of a well-rounded diet. But I want you to think about this. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, depending on how long you've been doing this. I know 23, 24 years ago, when I would get leads coming in, there was a company called House Buyer Network, and I was getting all these leads coming in. And what I would do is I would say, okay, it's Wednesday night. Got to sit down and call these leads. Let's see if I can get anybody to answer. And I would call 100 and I would get 9 or 10 to answer and try and make do with what I got there. Right. Well, at least I got 10 live. I had spreadsheets, 10 live answers. 90 people didn't answer. Stop right there. What's going to happen with those other 90? Well, I'll try them again next Wednesday. Didn't you do that last Wednesday and this Wednesday? By the time you reach them, they're going to tell you they already bought a house. Have you had that happen? That's a big issue. So I don't mind having 100 leads and making a call on a Wednesday night and I get 10 of them to answer. Okay, great. But now let's focus in on the other 90. What are we going to do now? Can we do text message? Can we do an email? Can we do Facebook retargeting? Can we send a direct mail piece? Can we load a video and contact them directly that way? Can I send a video via text message? You're familiar, I don't like BombBomb, but if you use any of those types of services that deliver a video, you can do that as well. If you're using a CRM that'll allow you to do that. There's so many ways for you to get the presentation in front of them, but the worst thing you can do, let me give you the actual math. I got 100 leads. I want to call them and try and turn them into money. 10 of them answer the phone. 5 to 6 of them are incredibly standoffish. I didn't fill that out. I don't know what you're talking about. I was never on Facebook. Somebody must have been playing around, or we're not looking to make a move. We're not in a big hurry. My brother's a real estate agent, whatever. So I have 4 or 5. I've made 100 phone calls. I have 4 or 5 that are willing to have a meaningful conversation with me. Can we say that maybe I'm really good and I can set up 2 appointments? Is it fair to say one of them may cancel, reschedule, change their mind, whatever? So I paid for 100 leads. I called, maybe repeatedly, I called 100 people to get one valid meeting. It's no wonder agents fail every single day. It's no wonder agents say, oh, those leads are no good. Oh, those prospects aren't real serious. Oh, nobody's motivated. Everybody's waiting until rates go down. Everybody's waiting until the market crashes. Everybody's waiting until the holidays are over. No, they're not. That's how you tell salespeople you don't want to work with them. That's how you do it. Or you'll say something like, hey, that sounds great. You're amazing. We want to think about it. I think we're going to list with you. We want to think about it tonight. Can we call you tomorrow? That's how you make a salesperson leave. Those are the things you say. What you don't say is, hey, that wasn't very good. We're not going to be working with you. Thanks for coming. But it's a definite no for us. That doesn't happen. They say all that other shit to give you hope that maybe they want to let you down easy so that they can never call you again. You know what your better approach is? Communicate with them. Like if you're trying to call them to give them a presentation, send them the damn presentation. That's what I'm giving you right now. I'm not calling you. If you call my office, there's a recording that says, I'm sorry, we don't take incoming calls. Please email support. Because the phone is the least effective communication device. I can do a lot better. What I'm doing for you right now, I can do a lot better job with this than I can by calling you on the phone and you interjecting thoughts, questions. Wait a minute. If I don't call them, what am I going to do? I didn't need you to interject that because I know how to answer that. So for you to give a thorough presentation to really build value around what you're doing, maybe you're better off. They don't want the salesperson involved. You will do better if you're not involved. Send the damn presentation to begin with. Because if it's a two-way to begin with, it's going to slow down the process, maybe stop the process. So when I say never call your leads, sure, you should call them. As a matter of fact, if you contact me as an Inner Circle member and you say, well, Greg, you said never call your leads, within reason. That is a attention grabber to say, it works better than me saying, call your leads as 10% of your entire marketing campaign. Calling your leads, using the phone is 10% of your entire marketing campaign. Maybe 15, but certainly not 20. That is way too much. If calling your leads is 20% of the marketing campaign you have in place for them or more, you are failing already. You already know you hate what's happening. You don't like the conversion. You think there's a problem with the leads. No, it's a problem with the salesperson. It's a problem with the communication device that you're using. I will assure you that a great sales letter or a simple postcard with a good offer mailed to them would work a lot better. If I mail them a postcard with a QR code on it, so they can scan it on their phone and boom, they're watching the presentation, I will guarantee you that will work better than a phone call. What are you trying to do on the phone call? Set up an appointment so you can give them the presentation? Text them the presentation. It's not a big file. You load it on YouTube. You're texting them the YouTube link. So I want you to start thinking about how can I get more presentations in front of people? It's not about calling them more often. Calling is the least effective communication device. So yes, you should do it. It should be a small portion of your healthy diet when it comes to conversion. And I think you'll find that if you are doing all of these things, you'll make a lot more money. You'll be able to help a lot more people because they've learned a little bit about you. And then if you do call them, they're a heck of a lot more receptive. If I called you today, if you've been following our morning meetings, if I called you today, you wouldn't even believe it was me. Oh my gosh, I can't really, I hear it every single day. Anytime I would have to call one of our members for something, every single, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm really talking to you. That is manufactured through giving value to your customers. You can do exactly the same thing. So I want you to think about what all can you do? I know you freak out about video because you don't like how you look. Well, I hate to tell you that's what you look like when you get out there anyway. So maybe go ahead and show them now so they can get a little more familiar with it. So they're not shocked at how fat and old and ugly you are when you get there. That only bothers you. It doesn't bother anybody else. So I want you to start providing value for them so they can see value in what you do. They start to become interested. They binge watch on a lot of your stuff. Speaking of which, you should do the same. If you click on the videos button, you'll see all kinds of training to help you in growing your business. What if you did that for buyers? What if you did that for sellers? What if you could tell them, make sure you subscribe to the channel down here because I'm going to have another video this week or this month or every day or whatever it is that you're doing because you're providing value, demonstrating that you know what you're doing. You're creating authority in your marketplace and you're actually communicating with them without utilizing a phone. Because the only reason you wanted a phone is to go meet them in person. They would rather get the information without meeting someone. And I can tell you right now, I don't care if you are the top producer in your area. We've proven this over and over and over. If you are the top producer in your area and you have a bullpen of people that make calls and smiling and dialing, and they got a mirror so they can make sure they're smiling because people can tell if you're smiling on the phone. If they're doing all that shit, I can outsell them without the phone every single time. You guys remember that $100,000 challenge I had where I obnoxiously went to the bank and got $100,000 in cash? And I said, I will put this up against anybody in the country that you can use your entire team to make phone calls. And I will never make one call. And I will set up more appointments than you that actually become appointments that we go out there and we close the deal. You know, not one of them. We had a couple people talking about taking on that opportunity. When my attorney sent them the agreement there, they backed out. Because look, you will do far better by providing tons of value for your prospect than you will trying to call them to say, when can I meet to provide tons of value? They don't know you. You're a stranger. There's no reciprocity built up to this point, and there's certainly no authority. So if you go to my Facebook page, you look all the way down, I don't know, it's been 8 months ago, probably, you'll see me holding a whole bunch of cash. And I said, I will put this up against anybody that you can have a bullpen of people making all the calls you want to have. I'll just have this little webcam and I'll just have this and I'll spank you. They'll never know that I'm not even in your state. You take half the leads, I'll take half the leads. Let's see what happens. Nobody would do it. Why won't you do it? I told them, like, it's not a gambling thing because we'll just donate it to charity. I'll give my side to charity. If I win your 100,000, they can have it. I don't need the money. Nobody would take me up on it. That offer's still out there, by the way. You can call all the people you want to call. You can hire 5 people in a bullpen to call all of your leads over and over and over and over. You take my cell phone. Watch what happens. Watch how well we convert. So I want you to start thinking through a couple of different opportunities on how you would communicate with your prospects without using the phone. Use that as a small portion of your well-rounded diet. That doesn't give you an excuse to be off the hook when it comes to calling, right? Oh, Greg said I don't have to call, so I'm never calling. Make it 10%, make it 15% of what you're doing. But Greg also said you should be doing video. Greg also said you should be doing retargeting. Greg also said you should be sending postcards, sales letters, YouTube links. You should be loading this stuff up and sending it out to everybody. Don't choose what Greg said if you're not going to do it all. This is a full system. I've been putting together, I'm going to be doing a kind of a whiteboard video for everybody on what a perfect marketing plan looks like. 10% should be this, 15% should be this, 35% should be this. We're working on that now. It's going to be coming out here fairly soon over the next couple of weeks. I think you'll find it to be very helpful. Everybody that's following this channel here will get access to that. Speaking of which, what about yesterday? How cool was that? Thousands of agents on that free training, and the feedback was phenomenal. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. You got some entertainment value out of it too, but more importantly, you got some really, really good content. So we are doing that 2 more times this month. gregsfreetraining.com. That was 2 hours of solid content with nothing for sale and no pitch. I didn't drop a link. I didn't say you should do this. I didn't say give me money. I'm good. I'm just teaching people how to grow their business. If you missed out on the first one, you missed out. Don't miss the next 2. gregsfreetraining.com. Most importantly, make sure you are following the channel here and you ring the bell. See you soon, and bye-bye for now.